Welcome to Cautionary Tales, where we don't just tell stories, we uncover the hidden truths behind the decisions that shape our world. Today, we journey into the heart of a revolution, a movement that promised to redefine our future, but may instead leave us questioning everything we thought we knew. The electric vehicle, or EV, was supposed to be the beacon of a greener, cleaner tomorrow. But beneath the shiny exterior lies a tale of ambition, failure, and the unintended consequences of moving too fast. Buckle up, because this is a ride you won't forget. Imagine a world where the roar of combustion engines is replaced by the silent hum of electric motors. A world where every car on the road leaves nothing behind but a trail of clean energy. This was the vision that captivated governments, automakers, and consumers alike. Companies like Tesla were not just selling cars, they were selling a dream, a future free from fossil fuels and climate change. And the numbers were compelling. Electric vehicles would reduce carbon emissions, decrease our reliance on oil, and propel us into an era of sustainable transportation. But dreams, as we know, can sometimes turn into nightmares. But there was a problem, a glaring one. The infrastructure needed to support millions of electric vehicles was more fiction than fact. The reality? Charging stations were few and far between, especially outside major cities. Imagine planning a road trip only to find yourself stranded miles from the nearest charging point. And it didn't stop there. The very backbone of our energy system, the electrical grid, was already groaning under the weight of modern demand. Now, add millions of electric vehicles and you have a recipe for disaster. And while governments scrambled to push the transition, they ignored a crucial question. Was our grid ready for this? Reports began to surface. Blackouts, rising energy costs, and whispers of an impending crisis. This wasn't just a bump in the road. It was a chasm that threatened to swallow the entire movement. For many startups, the dream of riding the EV wave turned into a nightmare. The daily headlines were filled with companies that had promised the world but delivered little more than empty factories and broken promises. Billions of dollars went up in smoke, and behind every failure was a story of ambition unchecked by reality. Faraday Future, once hailed as a Tesla rival, now stands as a cautionary tale of what happens when vision outpaces infrastructure. Investors watched in horror as their fortunes evaporated, and the question remained: could anyone truly compete in a game where the rules were constantly changing? And then there's Elon Musk, the maverick who threw out the rulebook and dared the world to keep up. When Musk unpatented Tesla's charging technology, it was a move that shocked the industry. His message was clear: if you want to compete, you'll do it on my terms. But while Tesla surged ahead, many couldn't match the pace. Startups faltered, and the dream of a diverse EV market began to fade. Meanwhile, across the Pacific, another story was unfolding, one that should have sent shivers down the spine of every Western automaker. In China, EV production was scaling at an unprecedented rate. With government backing and a lack of political roadblocks, Chinese automakers were building cars faster and cheaper than anyone thought possible. And with every new model, the pressure on Tesla and its rivals intensified. But here's the twist: China's dominance was built on a foundation that Western companies couldn't replicate. As governments pushed harder for a rapid transition to electric vehicles, the hidden costs began to surface. Behind the sleek marketing campaigns were the harsh realities of battery production, environmental damage, human rights concerns, and a supply chain stretched to the breaking point. The dream of a clean, green future was beginning to look more like a mirage. And for consumers, the promise of lower costs and endless convenience turned out to be an illusion. Energy bills skyrocketed, and the very people who were supposed to benefit from this revolution found themselves paying the price. The EV revolution, it seemed, was far from the silver bullet it was made out to be. The story of the electric vehicle revolution is a lesson in the dangers of moving too fast without laying the groundwork for success. It's a story of ambition, hubris, and the harsh realities of trying to change the world overnight. As we move forward, we must learn from these mistakes, ensuring that the road to a sustainable future is paved with foresight, not just good intentions. Thank you for joining us on this journey through one of the most complex and challenging transitions of our time. Stay tuned to Cautionary Tales for more deep dives into the stories that define our world, where we uncover not just the facts, but the lessons that can guide us to a better tomorrow.